ready today? Wow, that's good to hear. By the way, let me introduce myself first. My name is Mecca Janito and I'm your presenter for today's video. Well, today is a new day to learn something new. Are you ready? Let's go! We are still in the rules of teaching grammar, and this time, we will be discussing about the rule of nurture. But before we begin, let us all be guided by our learning objectives. At the end of the presentation, learners will be able to, first, identify what is the rule of nurture, discuss the ways on how to nurture learners in teaching grammar, and appraise the importance of nurturing learners in teaching grammar. Since we will be discussing about the rule of nurture, let's define first what is nurture. So the concept of nurture highlights the importance of social environment, assess learning, social and emotional needs, and give help that is needed to remove the barriers to learning and to help learners grow, develop, or succeed. Now, the rules of nurture argued that teaching does not necessarily cause learning, not in any direct way. Instead of teaching grammar, therefore try to provide the right condition for grammar teaching. That's according to Thornberry 2004. Meaning to say, teaching itself cannot assure learning, and it has to be accompanied with right conditioning and guidance of the facilitator. As cliche as it may sound, teachers create a significant impact on students' lives. When students are asked to describe their favorite teacher, most of them would say he or she is caring, a good listener, supportive, has a good sense of humor, etc. If you will be the teacher, how would you want your student to describe you? More than being a knowledge dispenser, the teacher also plays the role of a mentor, a friend, a parent, a counselor, and so on. Sometimes, these things that make people feel more human matter the most. The things teachers say and do in the classroom may positively or negatively affect a student's competence and confidence. Further, the effective components of learning are very important for students to be able to make a measurable gains in acquiring and manipulating knowledge. Teachers need to be strategic in cultivating a positive and healthy learning environment for the students. A nurturing environment is a learning-rich environment. Students need to feel that the classroom is a place for trial and error and learning from mistakes. They need to feel safe, supported, cared for in your classroom. Teachers should be able to provide a conducive learning environment free from fear and humiliation. Students tend to withdraw and lose interest in learning if the classroom does not reinforce self-esteem. Reinforcing self-esteem in the classroom is associated with increased motivation and learning. A teacher who builds positive relationships with students decreases the affective filter or level of discomfort in the classroom, and students perform better. Teachers who make connections between old and new knowledge and tie both into the real world also have students who perform better. That's according to Adam 2015. Also, according to Crushen 2004, the one obstacle that manifests itself during language acquisition is the affective filter. That is a screen that is influenced by emotional variables that can prevent learning. The hypothetical filter does not impact acquisition directly, but rather prevents input from reaching the language acquisition part of the brain. Teachers need to lower or decrease the filter or the barriers such as anxiety, self-confidence, motivation, and stress, as they may affect students' overall language experience. Teachers need to see to it that grammar, concepts, and the way they are taught will motivate students to internalize the input, produce optimal output, and take into account feedback. Number 1, get to know your student and allow them to know you as well. Number 2, create a sense of order through clear behavioral and academic expectations. Number 3, utilize commonly games and activities, relevant instructional materials, and engaging classroom discussions. Number 4, provide constructive feedback and allow students to learn from their mistakes. Number 5, don't judge. Teachers should consider the individual differences of students and use this plan as an effective and productive teaching-learning process. Number 6, celebrate success and class achievement. Number 7, choose appropriate teaching methods to cultivate students' motivation and creativity. For instance, your lesson for today is about nouns. First step, choose a story. Practice reading the story with emotions or feelings. Then you can choose appropriate background music for the story. Let the learners listen to you attentively. Allow them to sit on the floor or lay down and be with their classmates. Then turn off the lights, play the music, and start reading the story. Step 2. During the storytelling, the teacher may ask questions in between to check that they are listening attentively and also to keep their motivation high. Step 3. As the learners answer the teacher's queries, don't correct the students' grammatical errors immediately. Focus first on the content. Before you end the lesson, you may give the correct form by repetition in the later part. Step 4. After reading the story, focus first on the main discussion. Ask the students to name the subject or the person of the story, the name of the place, the objects they remember that is present in the story. Step 5. Tell the students that all those things that they mentioned were actually nouns, that the teacher may proceed with the discussion of nouns, common nouns, proper nouns, abstract nouns, proper nouns, and concrete nouns, to let them fully comprehend the lesson. This example involves the creation of a very safe environment in which students are allowed to explore, but they have to feel safe. People can learn fast when they allow themselves to be a little out of their comfort zone. When people are afraid, the brain shuts down and they are not open to take in new information, develop new skills, or do anything they have not got solid experience doing. And that's all for my presentation. Thank you and have a great day, everyone.